My classmate asked me for a favor, but when I refused, she made my life a living hell. We met for lunch in the campus cafe, and my class partner of 2 years leaned over the sticky table with eyes bright like stage lights and told me she had finally seen her wedding in a dream that shook her awake. Before I could say congratulations, she said I would stand at the front left of the aisle in a long white gown, feathered, beaded, soft, and I would play the violin as guests arrived. I laughed because I have never held a violin. She did not laugh. She told me I had a year to learn, and that this was sacred because the wedding was more than a ceremony. It was a living artwork, and everyone would be a piece of it. She opened a notebook and slid it across the table. The margins were crowded with circles and arrows, words stacked on each other like they were trying to shout. In a corner, my name was boxed in and tied to phrases. Violin, soft and complex. A concerto, lots of detail. Wow the guests. She said she woke up crying from joy, wrote for hours, even drew sketches. She said the plan felt like a message, and the warmth of it did not fit in words. She spoke fast and bright, skipping from color to fabric to the exact moment the doors would open. When I tried to interrupt with the simple fact that I cannot play, she slapped her palm on the table and said clear and sharp, "Stop." Sugar packets jumped. Then she smiled like the slap never happened, and kept talking about a final shimmering note. I told her that a year is not enough to go from nothing to a solo that sounds like a room full of players. I offered to help find a professional who could learn whatever score she wanted. She waved the idea away like a fly. No, it has to be you. I'm sure of it. I turned pages. The notebook held the same phrases over and over, written big, written sideways, written across other lines. One sentence, "Inspect what you expect," ran along the edges 3 times like a marching band. Another, all in white, crushed the corner in block letters. She described the music she wanted as so intricate no one would believe one person played it. She talked about me composing it, about tiny notes like silver threads, and long notes like silk ribbons, about the hush before the first bowstroke. I said I could not. I said even learning the basics would take months, and even then I would sound like a beginner. I said I did not want to disappoint her on a day she would remember forever. She lowered her voice like she was telling me a gift would arrive early. She said she had already bought my violin, almost $2,000, and it would be here in a few weeks, so I needed to find a teacher and start. The room went dim around the edges. I told her I did not want a violin. I told her I did not play. I did not ask for this. I did not agree. She made soft little no sounds, lifted her hands and said enough, like my refusal was noise. She said worst case, I would learn a skill many people wish they had, and if I did well, the violin would be mine as payment. I stared at the page with my boxed-in name and felt like the lines were closing. We share a class now, and 3 more in the fall, so I cannot vanish and pretend we never met. I worried she would only double down as the date got closer. That evening, I sent a careful message to her fiancé. I softened the edges, told the truth without the slap, and said I was worried because this went far beyond normal planning. I also said I could not play. The next day, I found a long reply. Not from him at first, but from her. The platform had tucked it away because she removed me, so I saw it late. Her note was all glitter and heat. She said I was trying to come between them. She said I was jealous. She said nothing could break them. I felt my face go warm even though I was sitting alone. An hour later, her fiancé wrote back himself, and the message stretched long. He said she had gone to a florist and demanded the entire wedding be done in wisteria. When the florist said that was not possible, she made a scene big enough that someone threatened to call the police. He said he found out she had spent her student loan money for the rest of summer and the fall on wedding things, including the violin for me. She had booked tours and tastings at places with prices that looked like phone numbers. He named a venue I knew from photos, a stone castle above Lake Travis where hillside mansions sit like ships. He tried to set a budget. She threw words at him like plates and then accused us of being involved. After that, she left for her sister's house. I told him I would not be playing and that I was sorry this added stress, and I urged him to ask her sister to help her see a doctor. He replied that he could handle his family. I said I understood and wished them well. That was the end of that thread. After that, her chair stayed empty in class. Her name on the fall roster looked faint. I put the notebook into an envelope and hid it in a drawer because even seeing it made my chest feel crowded. Sometimes I pictured a different lunch where she let a professional handle the song, and we laughed about almost casting me as a one-woman orchestra.